Apologize to you guys for the last video. I was really working on something to make the voice, the sound better, but apparently it didn't work as I thought it did, because I checked before I posted. It sounded okay, but when I later tried listening to it, it was not good. I deliberately did not take it down because it's part of my story. I just want to leave it there. So yeah, I need to apologize to you guys.
Welcome to Hira with Jamila.
Thank you for coming back to another episode of Hira. So today I'm just here to tell you, stop taking yourself too seriously. Yes. Well, I know that's not like the smartest thing to say in this me, myself, and I world that we live in today, but really, stop taking yourself too seriously. Really, you're special, but you're not that special in every other person's story. Simple. We meet different people every time. We interact with them at different levels, at different emotional place that they are in. But yeah, you're special, but not in that person's story. So don't turn everything that someone does, good or bad, to be like, oh, I'm so special, that's why this happened to me. Okay. In some cases, yes, but I'm just trying to tell you so that you don't have your hopes too high, right? And then you can live within this I'm a nice person, I'm a good human being, God loves me. It's better that way, and everything that happens to me happens to the glory of God, right? And everything that does not happen or does not go the way I want it to go doesn't mean God doesn't love me. It means it is also to the glory of God. Like whatever happened to Job happened to the glory of God. Whatever is happening to you right now is also to the glory of God. Good or bad, the Bible has said, in all things we should give thanks. So in the good things, give thanks. In the things that are not so good, please give thanks as well. Okay. So I just wanted to give these examples just so I could buttress my point. Not going to be exhaustive, but you get the point, right? So I was listening to a podcast about a lady who does something called Recap. So it's a group of Christians who would study the Bible together, and then she kind of gives them a recap of what they've studied together. So Bible study sort of thing, but it's a podcast and it's quite big. So this lady, before then, started to read the Bible. She wanted to have like this long period where she studied the Bible from start to finish, right? At the end of the whole period where she went to study the Bible, she said she didn't like what she read, right? And then she was like, so why didn't I? And I think the pastor then explained to her that she was putting herself in the center of the Bible. The Bible wasn't about her, but it was about God and the glory of God, right? So when she started to take herself off it, and she knows that everything in that Bible is the glory of God, the stories, everything, even the things that are supposed to teach us and help us better in our Christian lives, all is to the glory of God. So as he was helping, when she finished, she was like, I don't like what I read, or I didn't like what I read. And then he said, you made it about you, and it wasn't about you, right? The Bible was not about her. It's about God. It's about the glorification of God and what God wants us to do and how he wants us to live our lives as his children, right? So she started to read the Bible, and then when she ended up reading the Bible, she said, I didn't like what I read, right? So because her pastor was also like her helping her to kind of understand it, he then told her that she was probably reading the Bible with herself in the center of it, right? So she needed to take herself out of it, because the Bible wasn't just about her, but it's about God and the glorification of his name. So even the things that are supposed to be for correction and for reproach for us were all to the glory of God, right? So because of that, she then took herself out and she started to enjoy, and she started to like the God that she saw and everything. So another second example I just want to read. This might look like it's unrelated, but it is really, really related to this. As earlier this week, I think the Minister of Works hosted some journalists to kind of give them briefings on probably the projects they were doing. I really did not go into details of why the conference was held, or the press briefing was held. But he had an interaction with a journalist from Arise News. So I'm going to play it for you guys so you can listen.
You mentioned the ESIA is currently being carried out by...
Sister, I was raised in the village. Me, I'm not here for now.
Well,
So,
Sorry,
so try to
I
speak.
can't help the way I speak. You mentioned that the ESIA was being carried out at the moment. The EIA Act of 1992.
I need interpreter.
Well, you have enough people next to you. The EIA Act of 1992 states that an EIA must be approved by the Federal Ministry of Environment before the commencement of any project.
No,
unless an exemption
it's
has
not
been
done
given.
so. There is preliminary approval. There is final approval.
Has an exemption been given? And if so, if you have the preliminary approval...
Exemption of what?
For the project to start without the final approval. If you have the preliminary approval, can this be shared
We
with
are
the
following
public?
due process.
So can we have a
It
copy
is
of the
federal
preliminary
government that
approval?
gives the approval. It's not you.
So
It's
can we
federal
have a copy
government.
of the preliminary approval?
We have the approval.
And you can make that public to the media?
Everything in order.
Okay, thank you.
So if you listened and saw the expression, I'm not sure if it will play well because I had some issues when we downloaded it. But she first said, I can't help how I speak. Number one, in as much as he was like, of course, it looked more like he was going for her person, right? I cannot speak. I don't understand what you're saying. I need an interpreter, kiniko. But she stayed focused. She stayed, this is what I want. This is the question I want to ask you. And I'm going to get an answer for it. I'm not going to deflect that oh, you're getting at me or you're trying to be funny in any way with me. She was focused and she asked a question straight-faced and she got an answer, whichever way it came. She asked her question. So instead of making the whole situation about her, which she could have justifiably done, right? She didn't. She just smiled, and said he had people who could interpret by himself. Since he's forming, I cannot speak. I don't understand your accent and saying some kind of interesting things, right? So she was able to take herself out of the situation and got what she wanted. And that's what I'm just trying to say that is, in life, there's so many situations you're going to meet. There's so many people you're going to meet at different points or be at different emotional stages or whatever is going through their day. It is not about you, because you cannot say, I said hello to this person and the way the person answered me, and then you're moody all the day because somebody did not smile as you would have expected them to smile. Do you know what was going through their head? In fact, some of them might not even be worrying them like that. Something else might be worrying them. It's not about you. But again, we expect people to behave better, right? Especially if you've had one or two interactions with them before. In fact, that was one of the shock I kind of got when I got here. Some people, you think you're cool as per, they're not your friends really, but if we said good morning yesterday, why are you frowning your face today? Right? So it's it's actually just interesting, but yeah. So imagine that you have to be stressing that, oh, this person I greeted yesterday did not greet me. And you know, funny enough, there are some Nigerians who have acted that funny too. And then you were saying hello and you're acting all fine. Why are you doing like that? So imagine that you have to kind of keep using people's mood swings to kind of live your own life. You know, so that's what I'm saying. Don't take yourself too serious, because if you don't take yourself too seriously, it will not even matter. Okay, she did not greet me. Okay, do you understand? You just move on to the next thing that's happening to your life or whatever it is that you can control. And again, I could actually have named this thing, don't take life too seriously, but again, I don't want it to go. I don't want to have like an extreme. Oh, don't take life too seriously. You can't take life too seriously, but just know that there's so much you can control. In fact, if there's anything you can control more, is how you react to things. It's not how or what happens to you. Yes, you can be intentional about about certain things that happen in your life. Like, I'm a very intentional person. Like, I'm so intentional to it. I think that's how sometimes the urge or to kind of want to control how things are done kind of affects you. You're a very intentional person, right? I've done so and so A, B, C, D. It should turn to E, right? But sometimes life doesn't happen that way. So don't take yourself too seriously, and you will seriously be better. You will live better. You will be happier, because again, everything is not about you. You're not the center of everybody's life. People are going through things. You might not know what it is they are going through, but they are going through things. And if unfortunately, it now happens that the day you meet them and it's the day that the thing has done them and you're now frowning, or they're now frowning, you're not saying, oh my God, my day is going to be bad today because this person didn't smile or didn't act as they would ordinarily do to me. No, it's not about you really. And even the things that happen in life, they're just beyond our control sometimes. You know, so please, Don't take yourself too seriously. Try to live a happy, good life, interesting life. Be within your own control space, not what someone else can control, what someone else does. I'm sure when Layla left home that day, she didn't think, oh, this person was going to answer me in this way or manner, but it happened. But you see, kudos to her. She was focused on what she wanted, and she asked a question. You cannot just derail my thinking or my thought pattern because you're trying to be funny. And that's what's going to happen in life. We wake up in the morning all smiles, and you get to the boss, somebody is doing one funny thing, or you can't continue living your life based on other people's emotions or reactions, and you really can't be happy or say, oh, this is what would make me happy in life if I attain this, if I get this. God forbid, but what if you don't? You just be unhappy until you get that thing, really. So just be happy, and that's my take for Hira today. And again, I just wanted to say, please, I'm trying to look for better ways to do this. If you have more interesting topics you would want me to talk about, or if I'm just trying to make this as more interesting as it can get, and I'd really love your input. That's what I should have just said from the beginning. Am I speaking plenty English? All right, guys, thank you so much for following. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Until I see you guys next time. Bye-bye.